So, what makes a ghost story really terrifying? I mean, it's not just about things that jump out and yell boo. It's the atmosphere, right? The slow burn dread. Today, we're going to pull apart a true masterclass in suspense and look at how it ticks, moment by terrifying moment. The horror starts with this single line. We don't ease into it. We're just dropped right into a world that feels wrong. A sky the color of ash. I mean, think about it. Ash is what's left over after something has been burned to the ground. From the very first sentence, it sets this tone of death and decay, letting us know we're in a place where something awful has already happened. And this is the question that just hangs over the entire story. It plays on one of our deepest fears, the idea that the very place you run to for safety could be the real danger. It's a fantastic hook that sets up everything that's about to unfold. All right, so how does the story actually build that terror? Well, it starts by creating the perfect victim, a traveler who is completely and utterly alone. So let's meet Raghu. He's on his bicycle, he's already a little lost, and he's miles away from where he needs to be. Then, out of nowhere, this insane storm hits. We're talking torrential rain, lightning, the whole deal. He's forced off the road, and now he's totally at the mercy of the elements. Now, what's so clever here is how quickly the story uses one of the oldest tricks in the horror playbook: isolation. The storm doesn't just make Raghu wet, it completely cuts him off, makes the roads impossible to travel, and pushes him away from anything familiar. He is now 100% alone, which, as we know, makes him the perfect prey. Just when Raghu has hit rock bottom, a figure just materializes out of the gloom. This is Ratan, and he seems like a total savior, offering shelter in a little tea shop nearby. To Raghu, this is a miracle. But for us, watching this unfold, we know what this is. This is the moment the trap is sprung. Okay, so Raghu has found his sanctuary. But the moment he steps inside, that initial feeling of relief, well, it starts to curdle into something way more sinister. The safe haven starts to feel pretty unsettling. This is the first little red flag that goes up in Raghu's mind. He's looking around this rundown hut in the middle of nowhere and thinking, logically, hold on, who would ever try to run a business out here? It's such a simple question, but it's the first real crack in this facade of safety. The place just doesn't add up. And this is where the author really starts to build that dread. It's not about a monster, not yet. It's about all these little details that are just off. There's this weird burnt smell hanging in the air. Radisson makes and serves the tea almost instantly, like unnaturally fast. And then there's this. Even with a massive storm blowing outside, the flame on the hurricane lamp is perfectly still. It doesn't even flicker.
There's a perfect word for this feeling in horror theory: the uncanny. It's that creepy-crawly sensation you get when something is familiar, but at the same time, it's just strange. A flickering flame is normal. A flame that's out is normal. But a flame that completely ignores a raging storm, that breaks the rules of physics. It's a massive signal that whatever world Ragus has walked into, it's not our world.
So the atmosphere is already thick with dread. And what better way to pass the time? Our unsettling host, Rashtan, starts to tell a story about the very spot they're sitting on. Rasan tells this horrific local tale, a story of jealousy, betrayal, a double murder, and then suicide by fire. It's an absolutely brutal story that seems to explain why this place feels so desolate. But as you're about to see, this isn't just a story. It's a warning. And the way Ratan tells the story, he uses such vivid, painful details. This line right here, this is the heart of it. It's the exact image of betrayal that sent the husband over the edge. Making it so specific makes the whole story feel incredibly personal and way too real. And this is where things get truly terrifying. The line between Ratan's story and what Raghu's experiencing starts to totally dissolve. A woman named Chumar just appears. And what does Raghu see? A thin line of blood on her neck. Then there's this awful smell, like raw blood. A little later, he sees this horrifying flash of an image, a man hanging. The past isn't just a story anymore. It's literally coming to life right in front of him. So, after a night of absolute terror, the sun finally comes up. This whole section is about the big reveal, that moment when the supernatural horror of the night crashes head-on into the cold, hard logic of the morning. Raghu is, understandably, completely freaked out and just gets out of there as fast as he can. He thinks he's survived, but then comes that classic twist of fate. He left something behind. his bag of money. It's such a simple, believable reason that forces him to turn around and go back to that awful place. And this is the gut punch. The twist is just laid out in a stark contrast. That cozy tea shop he just spent the night in, it's gone. In its place, there is nothing but the charred, skeletal ruins of a shack that burned down a long time ago. Rattan is gone. The shelter, the host, that cup of tea, it was all some kind of ghostly illusion. So the illusion has been completely shattered. But the story's not over. Now we get the final chilling confirmation, as Raghu has one last run-in with the residents of the tea shop. Just picture it. Raghu is standing there, in shock, in the middle of these ruins. And then a voice just speaks, and it's holding his bag. The way this simple, almost polite question is delivered in this context, it is absolutely bone-chilling. It confirms he's not alone, and whatever is with him knows exactly why he came back. And then he sees the source of the voice. It's Chumar, the woman from last night. Only now, in the daylight, there's no hiding it. Her face is a terrifying, bloody mess, and that sharp, metallic smell of blood is back, stronger than ever. The ghost is real. And in that one awful moment, it all just clicks. That story Rattan was telling wasn't some local legend. It was a confession. He was the murderous husband. Jumar was his victim, and they're both trapped here, forever. Raghu didn't just listen to a ghost story. He was a guest in one, served tea by the ghosts themselves. And the story just leaves us with this final, haunting thought. Raghu escaped. But you get the feeling this is a cycle. That ghostly tea shop just appears on stormy nights, waiting for the next lost traveler. It makes you wonder, how many people didn't forget their money bag and just walked away, never knowing the truth? And maybe, how many never walked away at all?